You've probably already guessed from the title. This video is really aimed at people who are, well, either considering starting a YouTube channel, or people who are a bit nosy. Now, many wonder how much money you can make from doing YouTube. Now, obviously you've got the big name Goliath channels who are earning as much as a small nation does, but in reality, most people are not hitting those sorts of levels. So, what about a more average size channel? How much does that earn? Well, earnings is pretty much the first thing that most people speculate on whenever I mention that one of the things I do is make YouTube videos. Except their assumptions are usually either that I must be absolutely rolling in it. In reality, the only thing that I absolutely want to roll in is bed, but I just don't have the time. Or they presume that I'm getting nothing for it and that I need my head examining. Obviously, the truth lies somewhere in between. Now, there's actually multiple areas of potential earnings from YouTube. The obvious one that we all know is the ad revenue, which is what I'm going to share with you today. But then there's also the potential of earnings from affiliate links or supporters of your channel making donations. You could potentially get additional paid work directly off the back of your videos. And then there's the likes of sponsorship, such as this video is being sponsored by Skillshare. There's always something new to learn, and I really enjoy Skillshare for this. I've personally taken advantage of many of their online classes to improve aspects of both my video production as well as photography. For example, I am constantly in awe at the results that digital artists are able to produce. So I've recently been working my way through Zenji Gamma's matte painting, compositing and Photoshop made easy, which he really does make easy. And many students have actually shared their own stunning attempts from his class below. And this is just one of thousands of available classes, not just in digital art, but there's classes on web development, business, marketing, and even lifestyle. And what I really love about the classes is that they're broken up into bite-sized chapters that you can keep coming back to as and when. With my crazy work schedule, I often don't have a solid half hour to watch an entire class in one go. But with Skillshare, I can just jump on whenever I have a spare 5 minutes and watch the next chapter. I can even do it on my phone whilst I'm on the go. And if you like the sound of Skillshare, don't take my word for it. Be one of the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description down below and get yourself a 1-month free trial to try it out for yourself. I've seen lots of people talk about how much ad revenue they've earned from, a video getting 1 million views or their channel having X number of subscribers. The truth is, those figures mean basically squat in terms of how much ad revenue you earn. Now, for those who aren't aware, ad revenue is the money from advertising, and it works exactly the same way as advertising on TV or on billboards. Companies want to advertise to the public, so they need an advert that the public will see. And much like a TV channel or a billboard, your video is real estate space for advertising. So companies pay YouTube for the privilege of placing their adverts on videos, and then YouTube pass a cut of that income onto you. Now, the more times that adverts on your videos get watched, the more you can earn. Incidentally, it's sort of the same with regards to the additional revenue streams such as sponsorships or review requests. The more viewers that you regularly get, the more likely you are to be offered these sorts of deals, the more money those sponsorship deals are going to be worth, and the more likely it is that bigger name brands are going to ask you to review their products. But the problem with ad revenue is there's no set rate. It's not calculated by how many subscribers you have. It's not even a flat fee. It changes from video to video on a daily basis for a whole host of various reasons. A huge YouTube channel can upload a video and easily hit 500,000 views within a day, every time they're uploading a video. Now, those sorts of channels are the prime real estate space. They are your tea time TV shows on mainstream channels. They are the day-glow billboards in the middle of Times Square. And as such, companies are prepared to pay a hell of a lot more to get their adverts on them. While unfortunately, your smaller channels are more like your 3 AM free cable that's being watched by a handful of insomniacs and people in a hospital waiting room. And they're not so much a billboard as they are more a lost cat poster on a telegraph pole 3 miles outside of Nowheresville. People will still pay, but they're not going to pay the big bucks. Now, it's shown to you in something called your RPM, or revenue per mil, which is French for 1,000, I think. So it's basically how much you can earn on average for 1,000 ad views on your videos. Now, currently, for the past year at least, my average has been £3.70 per thousand. But like I say, that varies from video to video. For example, 3 of my recent videos have currently about 2,000 views each. The one about third-party batteries, one about grey imports, and one about lens hood designs. Now, the RPMs for each of those is about £4.50. So each video's earned me a whopping £9. I'm not going to be jetting off to Alicante anytime soon. I'm barely going to make it to Aldi with that. But then a few weeks previously, I made a video comparing several camera models, and that's had about 15,000 views, which on the same £4.50 rate would total about £67. But it's actually earned me over £80 because the RPM for that video has averaged out on the far side of £5, courtesy of a few odd days where YouTube decided the RPM would be much higher for some reason. So, as you can see, you don't necessarily earn huge amounts for making a video, especially when you consider the amount of time that can potentially go into making it. I mean, I have often spent multiple nights testing products, scripting, filming, and then editing a video, thinking it's a really solid piece of work, and it's wound up earning me less than £5 for what could be 8 to 10 hours work. That's about 50p an hour. And believe me, it is tough to motivate yourself to make another video when that happens. However, on the flip side, you could potentially land yourself a golden video that just clicks. Often I've no idea why, but I've had a couple in my years of doing this. I mean, my most watched video was actually one I did about 3 months into first making YouTube videos. And I didn't think it was anything special. It was simply me explaining the basic differences between mainstream camera types. And at first, it wasn't anything special. I mean, I uploaded that video on the 16th of March 2018. It got 1,000 views on its first day. That quickly fell off to just a few dozen views in the following days. By the tail end of June, it had got just over 5,000 views and had earned me less than £10. And then suddenly, from nowhere, the view counts just started to climb drastically. And then for the next 18 months or so, it was getting 1,000 views every single day. Now, 2020 did see a drop in the views for that video, but currently it's sitting with a total of about 970,000 views and an average RPM of 489. That video has earned me about £4,740 in the almost 4 years since I uploaded it. But I've had a couple of videos where the RPMs just make no sense. I mean, I did a video comparing cine to stills lenses, which has had about 200,000 views, but the RPM for that was only £2.46. So in total, I've made about £500 from that video, which obviously is not to be sniffed at, but at my regular RPM rate, that would have been closer to 1,000. On the other hand, I did a video comparing 2 pieces of editing software, and that's had 132,000 views. 70,000 less than the other video, but the RPM for that went nuts. It's currently averaged over £17. So my total earnings for that video is over £2,200. Basically, YouTube seems to have no rhyme or reason as to how much you can earn. Seems to just be luck of the draw. But while I've shown you a couple of videos that have turned out to be rather successful, in reality, the vast majority of them are not like this. I've been creating videos on this channel now for over 4 years. I've managed to get 33,000 subscribers. Well, I personally have probably managed to get a couple of dozen. The remaining 32,947 probably subscribed for Rusty. But in that time, I've published 350 videos on various photography topics and have totaled over 6.2 million views. Now that's an average of about 18,000 views per video. But 10 of those videos have managed to break 100,000 views. Now those 10 videos combined total over 2.4 million views, which is nearly 40% of my channel's total. Now, looking at the data through the YouTube Studio app shows me what the average views for a video are over a given period of time. So videos that I uploaded about a year ago, by now have averaged between 3 to 10,000 views each, which isn't particularly accurate, but it gives you a rough idea. Usually what I find is some videos just do not engage at all, others will instantly engage but then soon fade off, particularly if it's about new products, because once the hype around them fades, then so do the views. And since you're probably wondering, I will save you the trouble of getting a calculator. My total earnings from advertising revenue at the time of recording is just over £19,500, which is a lot of money, no doubt, and I am very grateful for it. But bear in mind, that is across 4 years and creating 350 videos, which works out at about £55 for each video. And just over 7,000 of that came from the 2 previously mentioned videos, which are the only 2 videos I've had to go beyond about £500 in revenue. If you take them out of the equation, the average revenue for the remaining 348 is £36 per video. £36 to put together a video from scratch isn't really that much if we're being honest. Now, like I said earlier, there are other factors which come into play. I am very fortunate that the likes of Skillshare are willing to sponsor some of my videos, which adds a little more to the monthly earnings, but not a huge amount. And even that only came after a long time of growing the channel. I do also get offers of sponsored reviews quite a bit, where a company will offer to pay a pre-agreed fee for me to review one of their products. Now that would earn me quite a bit more money, but I personally have never accepted these because I don't feel comfortable in being paid to review a product, because I don't feel people could trust someone being paid to review a product, because that becomes less of a review and more of an advert. Now, you can also earn from affiliate links, such as down in the description there are a couple of links to Amazon. So if anyone clicks any of those links and then purchases literally anything, I will get a small percentage, basically like a referral fee. I once earned £3 from someone buying some frozen food. Now, the amounts that you earn will fluctuate all over the place depending on what people are buying. I could earn £20 from someone buying a camera or a lens, or I could get 20p from someone buying a pack of razors. Last year in total, I got about £900 from those, which again, over the course of the year and the number of videos I created, doesn't equate to megabucks, but it does at least help making videos more viable. I forgot to mention earlier as well, you can also make money from merchandise. So, t-shirts, hoodies, posters, cups, basically anything. I use a company called Teespring, but there's quite a few different ones out there. Basically, they take care of everything for you. You create the designs of the products and tell them what they are and how much you want them to be sold for. Well, what your markup of the product is going to be. And they do everything else. They have the store for you, they create and ship the products, and then they just give you your cut at the end of it. So, for example, I've got my I Saw What You Did There t-shirts and hoodies and the Rusty editions of them. I get about $5 to $6 for each one sold, and over the 4 years I've made about 80 quid off that, but it's just an additional revenue stream that may or may not be quite lucrative for you. And then there's the option of donations or memberships, where viewers can set up a monthly payment to basically support the channel. For me, I have a Patreon account, which is linked down below. And there are a couple of absolute gems of people who have donated in the past or continue to donate now. At the moment, that's getting between £10 to £15 a month in total. But that is, generosity straight out of the goodness of people's hearts who just want to support me to carry on making videos. And I am eternally grateful to them for that. But really, the moral of this story for anyone thinking of starting a YouTube channel is please be under absolutely no illusions. Yes, you can earn money from it. But even for me now, after 4 years and thousands of subscribers, it is not a living by itself. Not even with all the extras on top of it is it even close to being a living wage, which is why I still have other lines of work going on as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would absolutely love for this to be a full-time living, but at the moment, it is just not the case. I do this because I like making videos. I like the topics of discussion, and it's what drives me to keep making videos, even after I've put so much effort into one that is a complete flop. And really, that is my ultimate advice to you. If you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, ask yourself, why do you want to start a YouTube channel? If your answer is because of the money, then frankly be prepared to be disappointed, because the odds are you'll probably get bored before you even earn the sums of money you're thinking of. If your answer is more along the lines of for the enjoyment of making videos or for sharing your enjoyments in whatever you're doing in the videos, then absolutely go for it. And who knows, you might even make a decent amount in doing so. But just be prepared, it could take a lot of work to get that sort of money. And consistent work at that. You can't just upload a video randomly every month or two because YouTube will forget you in no time. You need to be regular and consistent. A bit like a bowel movement. I mean, in 2019, I uploaded 80 videos. Those got about 2.2 million views and earned me about £6,000. In 2020, I added a further 75 videos and got another 1.5 million views, and those earned me about £6,400. Last year, I had the arrival of a newborn and my partner returning to work. My total videos for that year dropped to 61 uploads, but my channel views almost halved to 848,000, so my total ad revenue for last year was only £3,100. So ultimately, be prepared for a lot of potential work with no guarantees of rewards. That's not to say it can't happen, but it's far from certain. Anyway, I think this particular video has gone on long enough now. So as always, if you have any questions or queries, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. While you're down there, please consider clicking the like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon and the affiliate links, all supporting us through Patreon, and then hopefully, we'll see you in the next video.